like this feeling of like when I get on stage, I have to be better than everyone, and then you realize, especially the more quality comedy you're around,
right?
It's not that you're better; it's that you're just different.
Yeah. That's kind of what I realized. Like I don't know. It's like you say, nothing under the sun hasn't been talked about. You just got to put that shit in your perspective.
Right.
I think that's what makes comedy dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially how unique comedians in particular, very strange artists.
Yeah. We're the worst. I don't know. I think all artists are fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't like go. I know. I used to hang out with a lot of musicians in Austin and a lot of terrible people, a lot of good people, a lot of terrible people. Like I imagine, like if you were a painter, imagine how many piece of shit painters there are. Because like to be a good painter, you probably got to have this ego. You probably like just arrogant. But to be great at anything, you got to be a little bit.
Yeah, at least a little bit. It's to get into comedy, you have to be arrogant.
Yeah, it takes balls.
Yeah. Do you
not to just get on stage? I think to like say. I think it's to like to really give your real thoughts.
Yeah.
Like that takes balls to like give your real thoughts, but also convey it in a way that is relatable and funny. Like
it's a balancing act, they say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like an artist needs to be fucked up for them to be great?
Nah, I think there's some well-adjusted great people.
Okay.
I think there's definitely some well-adjusted great people, but I think everybody's a little fucked up too. Like everybody's a little fucked up, no matter how well-adjusted you are. I think I'm pretty well-adjusted, was raised well, but you know, I'm also a piece of shit at times too.
In what way, man? You seem
I don't know, man. Like I can be an asshole to people sometimes. Like I think I'm a genuinely nice person, but I can be an asshole to people at times. I've done some things like in relationships with women that I'm not proud of.
Oh, we can dig into it if you want. If you don't want to talk about it,
I mean, it's not nothing crazy. Like it's more just like kind of being an asshole. You know, like being hot and cold with them, and then being one day there, and then not the next, and then just kind of dipping, not being consistent. You know, just shit like that.
Nothing crazy.
And not sparing any feelings in the process, though. So
what do you mean not sparing any feelings?
I don't know. I guess in my 20s, I would say I was probably an asshole.
Like a fuckboy type of asshole. Like let me get bitches, fuck money, get bitch. What is it? I don't know.
I really wouldn't, because I was never like. I mean, I was always trying to get bitches, and I could get bitches, but. I didn't like just have bitches like that. Right.
Okay. When I first met you, even to this day, you've always seemed very chill.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Yeah. Were you always like that as a kid? Just chill?
I think mostly, I don't know. I probably used to talk a lot. It's hard to remember. I was probably like annoying as a kid, but like who wasn't?
Children are irritating creatures.
Fuck kids, man. Not in like the R. Kelly sense, but like fuck kids, man.
Yeah. You're from Texas, right?
From Texas, yeah.
Okay, what was it? Which part of Texas?
I'm from Angleton, Texas. That's like southeast Texas.
You don't sound proud of that for some reason.
Nah, I love. Shout out to the purple and white Wildcats, baby.
The
Wildcat City.
What was it like there?
It's a small town. It's like 20,000 people town. Mostly white. But you know, it was it's got this black community. Mexicans there. That was pretty much it. You'd sprinkle some other things in there,
like an Indian or two.
You know, a couple of Indians and a few more Asians. That was kind of the class representation. But for me, like growing up, it was cool because like I think that's where I learned how to talk shit. Is just like I was probably shyer growing up, just like out in the hood, like just roasting people. Like I talk shit, but like not like other people talk shit. But I also like see niggas in the hood get fucked up talking shit. So I was like, I ain't gonna cross the line to talking shit because I was really small. Like I was like 4'10", 4'11" when I went to high school. Like, I was short.
For real?
Yeah, I was short as fuck.
You tall? Like, you went through a growth spurt then.
Oh yeah, I was like I was probably like 5'7" when I graduated. Like I grew after high school.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a 5'7" nigga.
You want to be a short king?
I don't. Nah.
You never? Yeah.
I might be funnier though. I might be funnier if I was 5'7".
I feel like those little
But
idiosyncrasies.
see, the thing is, that's why I'm funny though, because I had to learn to be funny then, because I didn't get nothing in high school, so I had to learn. I had to get a personality, and then
that's the personality thing. I think that's what I like about comics, is that they have personality.
Some do.
That's fair.
Some people's personality is being a comedian, and that is the worst.
Yes. Did you have that a lot in Texas?
Well, I started comedy in Austin, so I think that's why I didn't know who Rachel was talking about, because I did comedy in Austin for like maybe 8 months before I moved to Vegas, and I was already planning to move to Vegas. It's not like I went to Vegas for comedy, but I figured it would be a good enough reason to add it to the reasons to move. But I feel like I would say I'm probably a Vegas comic at this point. Like I feel like I came up out there. I started taking it seriously out there. That's where I got good.
How long have you been doing it? The whole thing?
I feel like 5 years is like right around the corner, like the next week or so, something like that. Like either I don't know the exact date that I started. I don't know if that's weird, because everybody like seems to know their exact date. Like people will give like today is my 12-year anniversary.
That's crazy.
It's like I have no idea the exact date I started, because it wasn't like, for me, it wasn't like a thing that like I always wanted to do stand up. Like I thought I never wanted to try it, because like I respect it. I don't think I'm that kind of funny. I was always funny, but I didn't think I was like that kind of funny.
What made you decide to do it?
Like one of the homies I used to work with, like after I got laid off, like I was at a startup, and we didn't get the money we needed, the funding. So during that time at the startup, I wasn't like really making money, because we were just hustling for the most part. So I started bar backing part-time to supplement the bills and shit. And one of my homies was the CEO, and anytime we meet up, just sidebar, I don't pay for drinks, because he paid me like $9 or $10 an hour. And we were boys. And I did it because it was his startup, and I was like, okay, I want to build some shit anyway. I don't want to do the corporate shit, so I want to go this route. Let's try it. So I was into it, but yeah, if you're listening, Neil, some bullshit. I talk shit to him every time I see him. He's still one of my best friends, but
pop up.
I don't pay for drinks though. Seriously, it's not a joke.
You said you don't like.
This nigga paid me $9 an hour for 2 years. Like fuck that.
That's crazy.
I think I got a raise at some point in between.
Good for you.
a little bit in there. Like we made a little money, got a raise. Made a little money, got a raise, and then we didn't get the money we needed. So
it all fell apart.
Yeah, but it was like the dopest thing ever. Like still the best, I think, learning experience I have. Like as far as like a job situation.
Yeah. You said everything okay?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
All good. Sorry.
Okay. You said you didn't like the corporate. What's up? Something happened?
Say I was a worky. That was a work thing that just came through.
Oh, what do you do for work?
I'm an analyst for a software company.
Okay. You're very much downplaying that right now. Is it interesting?
I mean, it's cool. Like it pays the bills.
Right.
It allows me to live a lifestyle I want to lead. You know what I mean? Like I can come out here for 3 months. I can go to New York for 3 months. I can figure out what I want to do. And it's all remote, so I don't have to be tied anywhere. I can go to Costa Rica next week if I want to and work from the beach. Like
this is making so much more sense to me now. That you're in Chicago right now for 3 months. 3 months, is it?
It'll be 3 months total.
Okay.
I got like less than 2 weeks left.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you, man.
It's moving fast. It moved fast.
And then you're going to New York for 3 months.
Yeah.
And the whole point of it was to like test the waters for each scene?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Because I want to move to one of the two.
Okay.
I think, I don't know. A lot of it's going to depend on, because my work situation is like a contract. So if the contract gets extended, or if I get converted full time, or if I just find something, in that time, that'll make a big influence on a decision. So
I guess
I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, man. I'm just letting life happen, but I'm prepared for what happens. Whatever happens, I'm prepared for. That's kind of what I'm letting life happen.
You said earlier, that you're not fucking with the corporate shit. What?
Well, I mean, like, I've been in the corporate world since I was like 22. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it gets old. I've been in and out of it.
Right.
You know?
There is
been laid off 4 times.
God damn.
Yeah.
Just randomly?
No, I mean, it, like, the first time.
Some staplers? What did you do?
No, I mean, I've been laid off. Like this position is being eliminated, like, twice during COVID.
Yeah.
Like that. Makes sense. You know, nothing you can do about that. And then the startup was one. And then, like, I was at Dell for like 4 or 5 years, and they, like, just chopped off a whole department at one point.
That sounds flimsy as fuck, which I guess so is comedy. So,
I mean, everything is, but I mean, I can do the corporate shit. I didn't start comedy till I was 33, so I'm just now kind of doing what I want to do. Right. Like that's comedy for me. Like, and I'm investing in myself, like literally spending tens of thousands of dollars as far as like traveling from here and there, taking flights, hotels, right, shit like that. Like that's cost me a lot of money, right, over time. So shit better pop off. But that's good to have that corporate shit that can supplement what I'm doing in the comedy world.
It's a very mature way you're approaching this.
Yeah. I mean, I want to quit my job, but I'm not quitting my day job anytime soon. Like, it's...
What is the driving passion about? Like, what is it about? Because it sounds like if you wanted to, you could not do comedy, live a relatively comfortable life.
Yeah.
Okay, so why put yourself in this situation?
Well, I don't want to be too comfortable.
Interesting.
Because then I feel like if that's my life, like, yeah, I could probably do that and make a lot more money. If that was my focus, I could invest money here, live a higher quality of life as far as just going out to eat, going on vacations. You know what I'm saying? Like, not missing things with my family and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that could be the case. But if that was my life, like 5 days a week, wake up, go to work, go to sleep, wake up. I mean, which of course now I wake up, do comedy, go to sleep, wait. That's my life now. But I mean, I'll sacrifice that to get on that stage. And like, I feel like at this point I'm pretty good at what I do. Yeah. So to get on the stage and do that and to kill and get the laughter, I don't think there's anything that can replace that. Like, and especially if you like in a dope spot with hundreds of people and you just murder a stage, like it's better than sex. It really is.
I'm behind you 100%. Like, I think that, you know when someone is not in the comedy world and they find out you do comedy and then they ask you about it, do you tell people that you're a comic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to get as many fans as I can get.
Right. Same. Z.
Like, I don't bring it out. Like, I don't meet people like, hey, Byron Austin, comedian.
Here's my card.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, nothing like that. But like, people, hey, what are you doing in Chicago? I was like, I'm here to do comedy. You know, I'm a comedian. You know, doing all that shit.
I've noticed that people, when you talk about it and you tell them like what your schedule is, people don't. They're like, oh, I thought you just do comedy on Saturday, and then you
no.
Right, but they don't get it. And then, I mean, that's why I can't have a romantic relationship.
It's a lifestyle. Oh, like, it's like, if you don't already have one, like me, you could do it, but I don't know how somebody could date a comedian, especially one that's up and coming.
Right.
Because like, I'm out 5 nights a week, at least 4 nights a week. Sometimes I say I'm being lazy if I take 3 nights a week. I was like, you were lazy this week. Yeah. Even if I did like 5 mics and 2 shows, like over that time, in 4 days, I took 3 days off. You don't want it.
Yeah, no, I know that like you feel like.
But I also feel I'm also aware of like the mental and emotional stress that this shit can put on you. So I also make sure that I do treat this shit like a job, and like I do take like a day or two off for sure. Just
very healthy of you, sir. What is the comedy? I've only been to Vegas once, and this was pre-pandemic for me.
yeah.
Man, what if we had ran into each other? Wouldn't that be crazy? But
what'd you do? We might have.
I did. Oh fuck, this was years ago now. I did. There was this show, the underwear show.
Okay.
I did the underwear show, and it was in.
I've done that one once or twice.
Okay.
It was at this like this little fucking
back area.
Yeah, it's like called the Science Center of Science and Wonder.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I've done that underwear show.
I did the underwear show and some mics, and then I got a book show on the outskirts of Vegas. Like if you just keep going east. It was.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the town. Boulder City.
I think
it's
so.
called like Backstop. It's got a big stop sign.
Yes. Yo, shit. Yeah. Wild. So I did that, and my feelings of Vegas were like, it felt like a slightly bigger version than where I was from, which was incredibly small.
Where's that?
Riverside, California.
Riverside, motherfucker.
Exactly. There you go. Not LA, not San Diego, not San Francisco. Riverside. So it felt like going to Vegas was like, oh, that's a step bigger than what I was used to. And then Chicago is fucking huge relative to what I'm used to. Is that your experience here?
Yeah, Chicago. I mean, it's every night. Right. Especially like Monday through Thursday, there's at least 7 mics, which is crazy. I think the up and comers can get on the stage a little. I don't want to say easier, but yeah, easier out here. But I guess that's the thing I loved about Vegas is like to get on the club stage, like you got to be good. Like you got to, to get up there consistently, like they got to fuck with you. Mm-hmm. So I felt like it was just a good training ground. Vegas was like to start off, and for one, like there's a lot of headliners coming through. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you're seeing killers on stage constantly, killers, like people who do this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like so, just because people who don't get a Netflix special in a week, you see them all the time, and. Every crowd is different. A lot of people are just visiting Vegas, especially like at the club. So if you are doing a club, like you're not doing a Vegas audience. There's almost no such thing as a Vegas audience in the club because they're from everywhere you can think of in the country. So if you can bring all those people together and make them laugh consistently, it's like, you probably got some good shit going.
Yeah, that sounds like that's good training ground.
Absolutely. And like, Vegas is always also a place like there's a lot of bar shows, like as far as the independent ones. So a lot of people don't give a fuck what you talk about.
What do you mean they don't give a fuck what you talk about?
They don't give they're not there to they're not there to see you. They're in the bar to drink.
Oh shit! So you got to really get them.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about your comedy.
Yeah.
Like there's like I've done shows with like UFC fights in the background, and like the crowd is reacting to the fight instead of me.
Yeah, I know that game. So then, what was the moment where you're like, let me try that? Let me go visit Chicago and New York.
I think like after the pandemic was like really like kind of done. Like I got the job, it was all remote, so I was like, I feel like I'd gotten what I wanted out of Vegas. Like met some great people, good connections, spent some time in LA, got a feel for that. Don't really want to go to LA.
Can I ask about? Yeah, I just made me. I forgot LA. Why not LA?
I don't know. I'm not saying LA is off the table, but I don't know. I just feel like there's a time and a place to go to LA. Like you can't go to LA too quickly. And if you do, I think LA can just swallow you up and now you're just thrown into the mix with people. But it can also be a good thing because there's a lot of opportunities in LA too. Mm-hmm. And I also want to write. So LA is definitely an option, like a good place. But Uh, I I don't know. I just I wanted to kind of go somewhere where I didn't know anybody. I wanted to just come fresh. So like the decision to come do like the 3 month thing here is pretty much to go to one of the biggest scenes in the country. Like New York is still considered like the
Mecca
the
of
Mecca
comedy.
of comedy. So, and I've always had like a thing for New York. Like even growing up, like I love East Coast rap. You know what I mean? I love visiting the city whenever. Like I've only been once for comedy, but I've been for, just to go, been for work and shit like that. So I love New York. And I figure like, shit, I can do it. Like it would cost relatively the same as LA, maybe like a little bit more, but it costs about the same as LA to live there. So I figured I kind of just want to go somewhere. Let me check out both of the cities. I don't know anybody. Come in cold turkey. Let's just see if I can get the people to fuck with me. If I can get some shit going in 3 months, then that'd be a good sign. So good sign in Chicago. I expect the same things to happen in New York. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't want to put any pressure on myself, but I feel like I'm good at what I do at this point.
Yeah. You what was when would you got here in May?
No, I got here like mid-July.
God damn, man. Okay. I'm trying to wrap my mind around that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
it seems like it already seems like I'm just like in the city. Like I could already just see myself like living here. Cause like I say, it's been almost 3 months. So it's like, I've adjusted. I understand some of the buses don't come.
yeah,
Those buses.
yeah,
They happen.
Sometimes you
That
just got to
shit
walk.
piss you off, man.
Especially but you haven't done the winter yet.
Oh man, in the winter, see that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, did this just start, or I heard it like it was like a COVID thing that really kicked off the ghost bus situation? But
So I don't know.
you're new here too,
I'm new.
right?
Yeah, I got here not even post COVID. I got here as things were opening up a little bit.
okay, so
And-
So you moved from Riverside to here?
Yeah.
What made you move here?
It was a mixture of realizing that I was a big fish in a small pond, and I didn't want to be that. Like I got to this point where it was weird. I had this weird little underground following almost, where like if I went to certain places, I could get recognized, and there was positives and negatives to that. Part of the reason that happened was I was doing street stand up before quarantine. So
Okay.
I was performing on the street, and then the shutdown happened, yada yada. It opens up a little bit, and I started doing street stand up again because nobody else can do that.
Yeah.
And then George Floyd got murdered, and then I was very, very angry, and so it turned
Rightfully so.
it turned from comedy to protest.
Gotcha.
And I was still I had just enough humor in there for you to say, oh, he's doing stand up. But a lot of it was me talking shit. I would go to
Yeah.
the most conservative places I could find and get my amp, and I would just say, fuck you to them. And they would, I got screamed at a lot. I got called a nigger a lot.
Of course.
Yeah, classic. What
This is still America.
It's still very much America. I'm glad that you're not surprised that it's happened in California.
I'm from
because
Texas.
Thank you. We won't even get into it. Thank you.
Well, no, I think so. I went to sorry to cut you off, but
No,
I
no.
remember like going through like some parts of California because I went camping with a homie like when COVID, like the first summer of COVID.
Yeah.
Like one of my homies, a musician from Austin, Jacob Jager. Everybody check him out. The motherfucker's great. He actually ended up coming to Vegas. So we went camping at like Joshua Tree in somewhere in Northern California. All those rural California areas, Trump signs.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They all think they're cowboys. Like they have this cowboy mentality. It's crazy. And so just getting screamed at, getting threatened. I had a guy yell that I was a pawn of George Soros, which I still don't think I fully understand that. I think it's a conspiracy thing.
I've Googled George Soros. It's
Weird.
nothing. I mean, I can make anything a conspiracy theory, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. Then I got assaulted. So I got sucker punched.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, from behind. Yeah, some dude just came from behind me, hit me.
Did you fall?
I was unconscious.
Oh, he got you?
Yeah, I was talking to my friend like we're talking now.
Yeah.
So just talking. If I'm me, you're him. lights out. Don't even remember what happened. Just he came from behind me, he hit me, and so he was trying to kill me. And then everybody like helped. My friend and some other people helped, and he ran away. And then I got a very, very big hospital bill that I'm still paying off, and now I'm in deep debt.
No shit.
Yeah.
That wasn't on camera anywhere?
No.
No street cameras?
Nope. Yeah.
There's street cameras everywhere.
America. And so all of that stuff was going on, and there would be points where I'd be walking around Riverside, and I would have people say, like, I remember there was this one moment. I was in downtown Riverside. I was barking for a show and was hanging out. There's like 3 or 4 guys, and one of them was across the street, and he said, Aaron Chase. And then him and all of his buddies started crossing the street, and I was like, oh, no. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
He came over and he was like, man, I love your comedy, man. Nigga, you funny as fuck. And he was super happy. It was fine.
Yeah.
But it was a really scary feeling, because I realized, like, I'm super recognizable out here now, and I didn't hold back what I said. I don't know who's seen me or when they've seen me. People know what my car looks like.
Yeah.
Like, people know what my girlfriend at the time looked like. People could easily figure out where I live. It was really scary. And
did you ever get like shit happen to you at home or like while you were out?
Yeah, I during the quarantine, this was when, what was this? This was when the curfew happened. You remember during the protests, then there was a point where the government was like, no, y'all not going out after 8.
Yeah.
So I was walking my dog. I was living with my grandma at the time. I was living in the garage, so I didn't potentially get her sick. And this is the neighborhood I grew up in, suburbs, and Trump flags and Blue Lives Matter flags everywhere. And I was walking my dog, and this big white pickup truck, which I'm sure you know is never a good sign. It goes on my side of the street, which is the wrong side of the street. And then they put their brights on, so I can't see anything. And it was very clearly, like, at least my interpretation of that was very much a threat.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck that. So I went right back home, and I bought guns. I got big.
I was gonna say, were you not packing?
No, man. Well, it's one of those. It's a catch-22. Philando Castile is a good example. You know Philando Castile?
Yeah.
It's a really good example of, like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Where
I mean, yeah,
I can't, like, if I have guns on me and I tell them, they might shoot me.
You gotta just don't get like one you can conceal. Get a big one that you can strap on your shoulder
to let them know what's up.
But I'm just saying, like, that way, not even the cops are surprised. Like, you gotta conceal when you can't be like, I got a gun on me, and the cops are like, where's, like, I can't see this nigga's gun.
Right.
You know,
I
don't know. It's never safe for a nigga carrying a gun, but I feel like it's the only way, for one.
That's the Texas in you, by the way. I feel it.
I think Texas, baby. Every black person on earth, especially in America, should have guns.
I agree. Multiple.
You have a shotgun so you don't have to aim, and then I have a pistol just in case.
I had a shotgun and revolver. I was Django for a couple months. And
So were you like on a non-violent tip when you were doing the speeches and talking?
No, not even a little bit.
Because I'm saying, if people are like trying to assault me and calling me a nigga, like, we can go.
It was not at all non-violent.
Okay.
It was very like fuck them. I'm done. I'm lost my patience, because where I grew up, they fucked with me and they gaslit me to no end, and it wasn't. I have a very complicated relationship with white people.
Yeah.
It's funny, the way this podcast has gone, I've discussed this a lot, so anybody listening consistently.
Okay. Sorry to bring this up again, guys.
It's fine, man. This is what my podcast is. But I've come to a place now where I think it's less hatred, and now it's more confusion. And that, like, these are people I grew up with that I know that I have seen the humanity in them, but it's also like, God damn, I grew up with you and you felt this way and you didn't articulate, like, why don't let me sleep over your house and also be calling me a nigger when I'm not. What are you doing?
That's probably why they invited you.
I know, right? Or I mean, I'm sure you've heard about the Little Mermaid controversy.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy. Their desire for hating anyone else's existence.
Yeah, I don't like. I know like I'm not somebody who thinks like all white people are racist, but I think there's a lot more racist white people than people would believe there is.
I would go so far as to say they are all racist, but not necessarily in a malicious way, in a systematic way. That you can't not have the system is racist. Therefore, if you grow up in the system.
When I say that, I mean some of them understand that the system's fucked up. Some are understand how they are privileged by it, but they also understand how black people have been fucked as well by the system, and they have a genuine remorse for that. Like white guilt is good for me. If you have white guilt, that means you probably
have a conscience.
Yeah.
I feel the same.
Yeah, like when I hear a white person say, well, I don't care about reparations, I didn't do that. It's like, there's a lot more to what you're saying than what you're saying.
Right.
You don't have to say any more, actually. Say less.
Yes.
Because I already know what it is.
But there's
I was gonna say I have like I don't know. I make a joke, but it's true. I have like 3 like great white friends, like 3 white friends that I was like these are my. I got other white friends, but like 3 that are like
these are my people.
These are my white friends.
Yeah.
One's half. Well, my homie back in Austin, I don't consider him white because he's half Mexican. So to me, he's Mexican. It's just how I look at it.
Yeah, man. All it takes is a drop of blood of. That whole thing.
But I think I vet white people.
Yeah.
I just need to see how you react on social media, the conversations. I'm listening. Yeah, I just got to vet white people. It's nothing malicious towards that. I just
survival.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be close to you if you have any type of any of that shit going on with you. And I understand like some white people. Grew up like one of my white friends, his dad is racist. Like, we joke about it all the time, but like he has a genuine dislike for his father.
Yeah.
Like a genuine one. And I love that.
Have you met Dan Cass?
I don't think so.
He's in this thing. You would really appreciate him. He has a similar thing going on. All of these white people, by the way, are good people. I've vetted them. They are very nice. This guy right here. This guy and this guy right here. That do you know? This is Zacho.
Yeah, Zacho's a homie. He's
these two fucking ride.
Yeah.
They go hard. I like those two.
Yeah.
But to add for more context, so part of it was escaping like genuine danger. The other part of it was I knew I needed to be around black people, and Chicago has black people.
It's true.
And then the other aspect of it. On outside of the racial element was on a personal level. I didn't want to be a townie my whole life. I didn't want to be the guy that just stayed in the same place.
Yeah.
And I just during quarantine was the most peaceful time of my life.
Yeah, quarantine was lit.
Yeah. Before it got real crazy.
Yeah.
But I learned how to meditate, learned about Buddhism. I really got to a sense of peace. Then when things started to open up a little bit, the anxiety came back. And I realized like, oh, this not only is this the racism, but this is everything I'm around. Like there was a lot of people I was around that was crabs in a bucket type of thing. And I couldn't do it anymore. And then the reason for Chicago was New York felt cliche and didn't feel right. And was incredibly expensive. And then LA, I don't want to be, I wanted seasons. I wanted something different. And LA gives a grimy vibe to me. It's like a little slimy.
Well, downtown LA.
Yeah.
That's nobody, when people say LA, they mean like Hollywood, Santa Monica.
Let me rephrase.
Orange County.
Oh, God.
The
Orange
beaches.
County.
Well, no, Orange County.
Oh, Lord.
I've been on, they don't get, like, that was the only place in California you could perform during the pandemic. Like, to get it, like,
they don't give a fuck.
No, they didn't give a shit, but I went down there and performed a couple times. I don't give a shit.
But so LA did.
And I talk about white people like that. I don't, like,
as you should. I think they kind of appreciate that when you, to some degree, when you just say it because they're not used to just saying it. But LA doesn't, to me, doesn't have the same spirit of comedy. It's where people go to get famous, not to get good. And so I moved to Chicago because it just, my gut was like, this is where people go to get good. There's no industry here.
Yeah.
And that's all I want to get good, and geographically I can hit the road. And so that sums it up.
Yeah. For me, I feel it was like either That's also pretty dope story. Not dope, but
That's part of it.
fascinating story.
And I've skipped.
Do you have some stuff online, or like just footage of like you talking shit to these people?
Yeah, you want to see some shit?
We can. Let's check it post podcast.
Okay.
Or,
All right.
or I don't know. However you want to edit, we can check it out. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I just figured like for the listeners, it might be weird to just like go on silent and.
Oh no, it's a really short clip. I'll send
Okay.
you. I'll show you this clip and then I'll send you something later that you can
No
watch.
doubt.
But so this clip, I was performing in Redlands. I was on the street and I was with that same friend that was there when I got attacked.
And homie didn't warn you?
Man, have you ever been knocked out?
No.
It's a strange feeling.
I would bet. That shit sounds awful. Like I've almost passed out once.
Yeah.
But that was like from vertigo.
It was from what I get. So this dude, his name KJ Robinson, and he's from Detroit. Killer, hilarious. He was like my mentor. He was like my big brother.
Yeah.
And he, when we were sitting there,
When you said killer at first, I wasn't sure if you were talking about a convict or a nigga from Detroit.
I'm sure he's got some bodies in there. I'm sure of it. But
Go on.
the last thing I can remember, I do vaguely remember his face, a little bit of his reaction. Because when I tell you this happened in an instant, there was no, hey man, fuck you, none of that. Just all of a sudden. It was the most pussy. It was the most. It's the least masculine move I can imagine.
It's the master race you're talking about.
Right. Jesus. So okay. So we're out performing, and this is a quick clip, and it's fine. Yeah.
What's the sign towards the road say?
The sign says our Instagram and our names and everything.
How did he? So these people just know you?
Yeah, I was there every day.
Okay.
I was there talking shit and being me every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did have a name, like on that corner. That was you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like I didn't even it. When I tell, and the weird thing was though, I did have like, it was such an emotional thing for me because. You remember that time, that feeling? It's indescribable. Yeah, it puts into perspective like when Martin Luther King died or Malcolm X or Fred Hampton. When they died, I can't imagine what the thought process must have been of people at the time. But I would have white racist people come up to me and scream at me, and then any black, brown, liberal, young, they would see that and they'd be like, we're protecting this guy. Yeah. Then they would come. Nice. And they would get my back. I got to this point where if I wanted to, I could have said, you guys fuck them up, and they would have done it. And I never did that, but it was a heavy thing. I didn't realize how much power there was in speech in that way.
Yeah.
And I had people, I remember, I'm going to try not to get emotional about it. I remember I would have people come up to me after shit would die down. So eventually people would leave or whatever. And then like little black families or younger black people will come up and they'd be like, hey man, thank you for doing what you're doing. I really appreciate it. Like please don't stop. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it made me realize like, okay, well, I'm not to think I'm some sort of martyr. I matter all that much, but that I
almost were.
Very close. Could have been close to being a martyr. But
hey, that could have been the best thing that happened to you.
For my career, for the fame? Oh yeah.
If homie would have killed you, like you probably would have been like in some you'd have been in a history book somewhere probably.
Gone down in history, baby. But then I wouldn't be here with you.
Right. That's why I don't know if I could that's why I can't get into activism, because I would talk too much. I can't do the Martin Luther King shit. Yeah. I can't do that.
I got to a point
I'd have to go the
violent route.
And the shit talking route.
Yeah, man. It's
like,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but I get you, but like that's also that makes you a real fucking target.
Yeah.
Like you're snuffed out real quick on some shit like that, especially if you're a national figure. Like if you're a national black person doing that shit on a big level, yeah, you're gonna get. Yeah, I can't. And I don't want to get into politics because fuck that.
We don't have to get into it, but I just got to a place where this sounds dark, but I got to a place where I was like, okay, I might die. Like, I guess I'll have to accept that because of the way we were in a place where we thought the world was over. We didn't know. Remember when they were like, it's going to be 2 weeks. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know that shit wasn't going to be 2 weeks.
God,
Once they started canceling sports, it's like, this is real. Gonna be a while.
What was your quarantine
like? I thought it was going to be like a few months, though. I didn't think like the whole 2020 and basically all 2021. I didn't think it was all going to be that. I was actually very productive during COVID.
Listening.
Me and my homie Jimmy McMurrin, it's my ace. We write together, we ride together, we die together.
Bad boys for life.
That's my dog. But we met out in Vegas, like one of the first open mics I went to. It's just, you meet somebody that's like, me and this nigga gonna be cool. He ain't a nigga, but like he.
Oh, is he in your three?
He's in one of my three. He's in one of my three.
Okay.
But so many of them, like, we got, tight before COVID. But then like during COVID, he told me about one of the OG homies, Greg Wilson out in LA. He's a big homie. He posted something on like Facebook, Instagram, like maybe like 2 or 3 months, like somewhere around the summer. It was like, so I guess you're not going to write that screenplay you've been saying you'd write if you had time.
Woo! Okay.
And so like I had been trying to get Jimmy to talking about, like he had created this like character like a couple years ago. It was like this, and he had put out like a few webisodes of it, and it got some good results, good reviews, all that stuff, like especially like with the comedians and like in the Vegas area, because he had actually grew up in Vegas, like he had played ball in Vegas, so he's pretty popular in town. So him doing comedy was like, he can pull in a crowd easily, and it helps that he's hella funny. So I told him like we should, like before COVID, I told him we should write something about that like sometime. And he was like, yeah, cool, but we just stayed on the jokes. But when COVID came around, we couldn't get on stage. There's no point of really writing jokes, really. So after he saw that post, he was like, it's a good point. It's like, the fuck, we just gonna sit around and not do nothing? So we just started writing pilots and episodes of like, finished like a whole series and did 5 other pilots within like 18 months time.
That's awesome. What are you gonna do? Have you done anything with it? Are you gonna save it?
We trying to, like, so we've got some education on how to like get it to production companies. We put a few of them in some contests. Nothing came out of that. Now we've started, we'll kind of finished like creating the treatments, the Bibles, it's another word for it also. I can't remember what it's called, but pretty much the outline, the pitch deck, that's it. So we created that, the treatments, trying to really see what the next move is. Like, we might just do some of them ourselves, like shoot a pilot each, or like 1 or 2 of them, like just one episode, and like put it out as a proof of concept. It's more just like now meeting people in those production rooms. So part of that is like representation, getting management first. I want to get management, a booking agent. That would be awesome, because I want to do this shit myself. I just want to go on stage.
Yeah.
But then like through that, I also get like a literary agent who can then pitch this shit for us. So getting a literary agent is like really the step, because they can get you in front of production companies. So it's trying to see which channel is going to be the right channel to get us in front of the people who can say, let's pay these guys some money to either buy this shit or help them pay some money to film this. And we've also like tried to send some out to like some people who are bubbling like in comedy, who have like been in some small roles in some films and TV, that we actually are cool with, like have relationships with. So kind of like writing a pilot that would have them as the stars, like, hey, by the way, if anybody ever asks if you got a show, Yeah, you got a pilot already written for you. So just take a look at that, see if you like it. If so, maybe we can do something with it. So I don't know.
Everything you just said made me feel like it makes sense why Harvey Weinstein was able to rape so much. Let me elaborate on that.
Please do, nigga. You can't just stop on that.
the hoops and you have to talk to this person who knows this person because this person has money.
Yeah. And if you just fuck Harvey Weinstein,
then you're in. No, just
you don't have to jump through all these hoops.
Right? It's just like you put work into something, and I think it deserves to be. I'm sure it's good. You're a smart guy, and you put work in.
Thank you.
And it's like this business so cutthroat. It's so fucking mean.
Yeah, like one of my and this is like at the last place I was at in Vegas before I got laid off because again they got bought out and things happened. It was like this small. I started work for this digital company and they got bought out by a solar company, but the guy who owned the digital company, like he was the guy I reported to, he had actually done like a kids like series. Like he had wrote it, done a pitch with like, I think he said one of the girls from Saved by the Bell, and like had a show created, everything, marketing ready to go and all that. They pitched it, they got turned down. Somebody like just took the idea and like it became, I can't remember which Nickelodeon show it was, but it became like some big long running show.
Right.
I was like, so, you couldn't like say, I'm sure you had it copyrighted. You had it, legally yours. You couldn't sue based on intellectual property. It's like, man, it's those lawyers they have. It's like,
they have lawyers on retainer.
It's like, you're not fucking with them, bro.
Yeah.
You think you can beat a Disney lawyer? They will break you. There's no point even suing them.
Yeah. It's fucked up, man. And it's like, it's so funny that balance of an artist needing money and then the people with money, the way they dangle it like this little carrot is.
I mean, that's why. I understand like sometimes you got to play the game, and when I say play the game, I don't mean like brown nose and like kissing ass,
suck Harvey Weinstein's dick,
or sucking dick, literally to get. I mean, like you got to play the game. It's anywhere you get in artist politics, somebody above you has to come down and say he's cool, let him in. Like that has to happen to get anywhere as an artist. Doesn't matter what your medium of art is. Mm-hmm. That's how the game is. So you have to network, you got to politic, you got to shake hands, you got to be in the right rooms, you got to know the right people. That's why I live by the motto, like, be cool and don't be a dick. Like, that's like,
I think you're good at that. Sorry, were you gonna say more?
Well, kind of. Well, I was just gonna say, like, based on that, like, when you got to play the game, and like, you probably gonna get fucked on your first deal. Like, that's playing the game. But take everything you learn, take all that money, and put it back so that you can be the one who dangles money.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So you gotta take that ass whooping. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're gonna get beat up the first time.
Humility, man.
You might get a good deal. It ain't gonna be as good as whoever is. If you get a good deal, somebody's getting a much better deal. You're never gonna be I think it was Jay-Z was talking about it. He was like how niggas was like trying to clown him for the Nets ownership, and it's like, and like the other shit, like when he like sold Tidal and some other shit, like, yo, nobody owns 100% of nothing. If you own 100% of something, it's probably not valuable.
Right.
Not very valuable. Not as valuable as it could be.
Right.
So that was all. But
the what I was saying was be cool and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
You kind of exemplify that. Be cool, don't be a dick. Like, you don't even, and I know no one can see us. I wish I had cameras. Even that, like, that you just did this cool dude shrug and shit. Like, you have that about you, and I must admit I'm very envious of it. Because I'm
envious.
Thank you.
Everybody's meant to be who they're meant to be.
It's very zen of you. And I agree, and I'm working on that, but that is something I admire about people like you, is that I have issue because I'm hyper emotional, and I very easily rub people the wrong way. I've been working on it of be cool, don't be a dick. But I think when I get emotional or when I get upset, when I get envious, the dickishness comes out, and
Gotcha.
I don't mean it to.
Yeah. I've been interested you say that because like sometimes I wish I was not more emotional, but like I don't know. I feel like I'm emotionally intelligent. Like I'm empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of. It's my Cancer vibes. You know what I mean? Like I can kind of like read, you know, a people or a situation, but I also feel like sometimes I feel like I'm just I don't know. Like sometimes life can feel too much like a spectator sport. I guess like I'm.
Like you're not the guy people look at.
Like not necessarily that, but it's kind of like I'm kind of just watching. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. I guess not that I'm void of emotion, but I wish I was just like more emotionally invested in things. Like it would probably just make life a little more interesting because sometimes you just don't give a shit. Like that's probably why I seem like that. It's just because a lot of times I just don't give a shit.
That's what I want to dig into about you, because we are yin yang in that way. I give a lot of shit about everything.
Yeah.
And you just, it's because it's not sociopathy. Like you obviously care about people and their feelings.
Yeah.
And shit. But so you've just always just been like,
Man, a little bit, I guess.
was your family like that? Is your mom and dad like that?
Nah, my dad is like, he's very emotional. Like my oldest brother, I'd say most emotional. He's pretty like, yeah. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Like growing up, we didn't like talk about our feelings a lot. Of
course.
You know what I'm saying? Black people, that's how we do.
It's gay. You can't be talking about your feelings. Yeah, I get you.
So I guess I think I guess less emotion. I guess I'm just always in my head.
Huh.
Like I'm always in my head. Like, and I think, but I think like because I'm in my head, I'm just so focused on. I'm so selfish. I think sometimes I just feel really selfish because I'm always in my head, and it's all about what's going on up here. Like even like everything that matters, instead of having an emotional response, I'm thinking about it instead of just feeling it and reacting. I'm thinking about shit. Like
that is interesting. Okay, so
there's always something going on up here.
But it is about you and your lens of things.
It's always my perspective. Like I can, and the thing is, I'm empathetic. Like I can, if somebody does something, I'm always like, well, I can see why they would do that. Like if I was in this situation, like I can do that very well. Like but at the end of the day, it's like on the grand scheme of things, it's all about me. Like when it comes to the important things in life, like relationships, jobs, you know, anything, like it's all about me.
It's all about, hey man. I mean, it's funny because I'm the opposite. Like I'm a people pleaser? Yeah. I grew up where I was taught like you need to make sure. We'll go back to race, but you need to make sure these white people are calm and comfortable because they will kill you.
Yeah.
And so in my head, the way I was raised is always like, what is this other person thinking and feel? I wasn't even in myself.
Yeah.
It was all about, okay, how are they thinking and feeling? How do I navigate this so that I don't get in trouble, get hurt, get arrested, whatever. And even when I talk to you, I'm thinking about like, how am I making sure? Are you comfortable? Are you liking that? Like, it's a never-ending cycle of what is other people thinking, and I'm trying to get back into my own body and head.
Yeah.
So do you want that?
Nah.
This is not fun.
Because I think it's good to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I think there's certain things that you should give, and like I think that's probably why. Because I realized there's only so much I can only control so many things, and I only focus on the things I can control. And if I can't control it, I'm kind of like fuck it. Like that's kind of just been my outlook.
Such
for
a
lot of
healthy
things.
outlook.
So I think that's why. But I also feel like sometimes I'm like, I can never do a long distance relationship because I'm like out of sight, out of mind. Like I wish I was the friend who picked up the phone more.
Really?
But sometimes I'm just caught up in my life. Like, and then a lot of times I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna call him today, and then I fucking work, and then it's like, well, shit, I'll forget. Like, I know I was supposed to call him, but then I work, I take a nap, I go do comedy, I get up in the routine. It's like I was fucking supposed to call my boy today, and that just happens. And like I have to set an alarm in my phone. I literally have an alarm once a week that goes off. Call your mom, call your nephews.
You just won't think about it. Interesting.
And I'd be devastated if anything happened to any of them. I would be fucking devastated. But also, like, that's one of the things that scares me life in most. This totally just went to another tangent, but biggest thing that scares me in life is I've never lost anyone close to me.
How old are you?
38.
Wow.
Like, no one, like, I've lost family members, like, no one, like, that's close to me. Like, close to me.
Wow.
I've never lost that. Like, that. That's the one thing I'm like scared of. That scares me in life. I would rather die. Yeah. Because I'm not afraid to die at this point. The only thing that scares me about death is when I smoke and it sits too real. Yeah. And it's like, oh shit, what the fuck does happen when you die? And it's like, you can't think about this and you high, you know that. But like, yeah, that's my biggest fear. But I also was like, yeah, like sometimes it's just, I forget to pick up the phone. I forget to text. Like, I'm not the friend that's going to call and make plans. And I'm also an introvert so that's why I'm probably always in my head and I'm like just comfortable with myself. And so I'm just.
Does it bother you when other people reach out to you?
No, I love it.
Okay. I'm going to reach out to you more.
I mean, please do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, and not to discourage you from that, but because I am an introvert, I screen calls. Like sometimes I just don't want to be bothered.
How about this? Okay. Here's what we'll do. So,
and that's not to discourage you. Like, please hit me up. Yeah. And like, if I don't answer, like, it might not be screening calls. I just might miss your call.
It's
totally I might be in the shower. I might be taking a shit. I will reach out. Yeah. I always reach back out. Yeah. I will do that. But I might be in the middle of a show. It's like, this is getting really good. Nope. Yeah. I might be like in the middle of a joke or like watching a clip that I'm just like, not right now. I might be like taking a nap. I take naps. If I'm trying to get that nap in and my mom gets canceled on those.
Really?
If I'm trying to take a nap, don't even call.
I am the opposite of you, man. Like, I literally reached out to an ex from college recently because I was like, I wonder how they're doing. Like, my brain is like, I wonder how they're doing, and then immediately I just start doing it, and I'm gonna start bothering you. You'll see.
Every time I reach out to my ex from college, we start fucking, so I can't.
Okay, it's a smart move.
Can't do that anymore.
As far as the death thing goes, congratulations, and I'm so sorry because
I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, it's better than the alternative.
What, you dying?
Well, no. I mean, than having lost someone.
I actually disagree with you.
Well, no, because I know it's like it's going to be harder to do it as you go on. But I haven't lost anyone.
Right.
It's great to have all these people that I loved still in my life.
That is true.
That's not a bad thing.
I agree.
But yeah, I've never had to really grieve.
It is. I'm sorry, this is about to get dark. It is very difficult. And
I know. My family owns a funeral home.
Oh my God. This is ironic.
Yeah. So.
And they just live forever, huh? They're just sucking out the life force of all these.
I got a joke about this, but serious too. COVID was good.
It was big business.
COVID was good, nigga. We Republicans now. Shit's not real. Take your mask off.
Was that crazy for you when you heard people? Sorry, my eyes watering. When you heard people say, like, this isn't real. The numbers are fake, and it was like, well, we got bodies, dog. We got bodies on bodies.
That's why I was like, nah, this shit's real. I knew that shit was real.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't like a coincidence. There was a jump.
Right.
In numbers.
And
it was also, we also service a lot of old black people. So I mean, they weren't all old, but black people in their health is
I know,
just a fucking great recipe for COVID to devastate.
Yeah, we
Like,
need.
we
to
were the
work on
perfect
that.
candidate to get ran through for COVID.
Oh yeah, I lost my uncle during it. It's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I like, man, I watch what I eat.
Yeah.
I try to be active. Like, that's why I love like Chicago or New York, like walking. I'm into that. Oh yeah, give me a city where I have to walk.
Yes,
I have to be active.
Texas is built the opposite, right?
Oh,
It's
you got
just-
if you don't own a car, go fuck yourself.
I saw.
Especially if you live in Houston.
do they have a bus?
The big cities have buses, like Austin, Dallas, Houston. I'm pretty sure San Antonio has a bus route. I never rode a bus in Texas.
Okay.
I never rode a bus in Vegas. I rode a bus once in Austin because Austin does have like a small commuter rail that kind of goes from the suburbs into downtown. So when I was working like at this spot downtown, I lived like out in the suburbs. I used to live in this place called Round Rock. It's right across. It's where Dell campus is.
Okay.
And Dell is a campus. It's like bigger than like most colleges.
Jesus. Okay.
But I lived basically across the street. Like I would work and take a nap and smoke at lunch and then go back to work. It was awesome. Eventually I stopped working at Dell. I started working at this place downtown. So I would take the train from the suburb into downtown, and then that's how I would commute. So the train would stop at like 6:30, and this fucking job, it was the worst job I ever had. Like I was working like 60 plus hours a week, and I was in grad school at the same time. Terrible on my life. It was pretty much like I was more tired doing that than I am doing comedy, but it's kind of like that was my life: work, school, or work, homework, one of the two. I missed the train, and I had to take a bus. It was like a 2-hour bus ride to get from downtown to the suburbs. That was the only time I ever rode a bus in my life, like a city bus, outside the school bus. And then never did it in Vegas. And I got out here, I've been on the bus like all the time.
Yeah.
I don't mind it though. The bus is cool. The bus is actually like cooler than the train.
Really? I'm a train guy.
The train's quicker.
Yeah, train's quicker.
That's why I like the train.
And it feels like I have more space in a train generally.
Yeah, but there's a lot more crazy people on the train, I feel like.
Yeah. Because especially red line. Have you been on the red line?
Oh, I mean, that's the main one. So yeah. I've been on the red.
Have you been to the South Side yet?
I've been to Hyde Park.
Okay.
Like a couple weeks ago.
Those are the Negroes in Hyde Park. That's like the upper crust of black people is in Hyde Park.
Okay, well those are I like bougie black people.
Yeah, that's a good move.
I don't like, but like I'm also like I ain't going to the hood if I don't know nobody in the hood. Like
It's not necessary.
I love the hood in Houston. That's the only place I know people in the hood. So I don't.
Me and Rachel had an incident on Juneteenth.
In the hood.
Oh yeah, man. We had to because we took the brown or the red line down to like 79th or whatever the fuck.
That's like the last stop, right? Yeah, I've heard don't take it too far.
Dog.
South.
I sincerely think we were a wrong word away from being shot. Like it was, we were trying to find food and we couldn't, like everything you could only do drive through. Like because they got robbed all the time. Like, you know, this is what I love about black people. Intuition. I think you'll know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
You know when you go to a place and you're like, oh, this feels heavy.
Yeah, something happens here.
Yes.
Things happen here or have happened here.
Oh yeah, you could feel it. And so we're just trying to find food. I'm high, and like, we go to this gas station that's basically being guarded by a bunch of dudes. And we walk over, and this dude, he whispers something. He asks us like a question, but he does it. It's almost like a secret code. And I'm confused. Rachel's like, let's just go in. And I'm like, okay. And we go inside. I can't even put into words how scary it was in there. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
So we leave, and the guys outside look confused, like, how dare you walk past us? But they're not. Let me calm myself down.
Yeah, well, niggas are talking about you, but not talking to you.
Yeah, I guess. I don't. See, this is the difference between you and me. I get emotional. It's like, just say, hey, man, don't come here. And I'd be like, oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I don't know this area. I wouldn't say that, but
yeah,
I'm going to leave. And we leave, and then the other dude starts cursing at us. It was really terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think long story short.
Like, get out of here, old bitch ass nigga. Like, was like shit like that? Or
it was scarier because he wasn't yelling. So I almost prefer someone yelling at me. When someone's calm.
Because yelling is like, I'm like, it's almost like a warning, just like, I'm just trying to scare you.
It's like a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
But when you,
But if you like calm, it's like, oh, this nigga shooter.
crocodile, you're just waiting for the moment. It was terrifying.
Yeah. It's like when you hear a nigga say, I don't fight. That nigga's, he's not being nonviolent.
Yeah. This is
he
not
just
somebody
doesn't fight.
Yo, all right, man. You ready to take this picture?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
right,
it, man.
let's
This was
do it.
awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.